Construction site conditions are not always perfect. Wet and cold conditions are just sometimes part of the job. The wet conditions test tries to simulate how window flashing tapes react in wet conditions. Today, we will be comparing two popular tapes against Weather-Bloc's extreme tape. We begin by pouring water onto OSB, oriented strand board, which is common on construction sites. We're taking the water and rubbing it all into the board to help it absorb into the wood. We are doing this to try and simulate natural conditions out on the work site after a rainstorm or heavy dews. Notice the splashing of the water as we move it around the board. Definitely the board is wet. We are now taking Weather-Bloc's extreme tape, pulling off the backer, and putting it onto the OSB. We are pushing it into the OSB. That is normal, like you would do around a window flashing or a door flashing. Now we are taking one of our competitors' tape and pulling off the backer as well and putting it right next to our Weather-Bloc's extreme tape. As we install it, notice how we're pushing it in extra hard to allow it to try and bond to the OSB in those wet conditions. Next, we'll be pulling off the tapes to see what happens. First, our competitor, right off, no stick. Let's take a look at ours. Oh, it's sticking. In fact, it's even lifting the board, and we have to hold the board down. Let's look at re-sticking the tape onto that same board. So we've done that. Let's try the competitor, right off. And now we'll take a look at ours. Notice there's no stickiness there on our competitors. And now, again, this is after the second time, there's still a sticking power. Incredible. I guess what we can say is that our competitors just don't stick in wet conditions. What are the results of the test? Competitor 1's fail, Weather-Bloc pass. Let's take a look at our second competitor and how they hold up against Weather-Bloc. Notice again, we've poured the water onto the OSB to simulate what it would be like in job site conditions after a rain perhaps or heavy dew. Again, we poured a second layer of water as you see the splashing of the water onto the OSB board. Now we'll take the Weather-Bloc extreme tape, pull off the backer, and apply it onto the OSB just like you would around perhaps a flashing of a window or a door to keep out water or moisture. Now we're taking our competitor's brand, pulling off the backer and installing it right next to the Weather-Bloc product. Let's pull off our product first to see how it sticks to the wet conditions. As you notice, we're pulling, lifting the board. We have to hold it down with our other hand and keep pulling. And finally, the tape comes off of the board in that very extreme wet conditions. How about our competitor? Pulls right off. Oops, another flop. What are the results of the test? Competitor 2 failed. Weather-Bloc passed. If you would like more information on this exciting flashing tape from Weather-Bloc, please visit our website at www.weatherblocsystems.com.